I'm going to explain what Assistive Touch is, how to activate it, and how to customize it if you want to. So the first thing is, what is Assistive Touch? Well, it's an on-screen button that can replace physical buttons and gestures that make it easier for you to navigate and use your iPhone. It's designed for touch functions, but it actually is pretty useful even if you can press the buttons just fine, because sometimes you have to press a button fast or twice or something in a certain sequence. And Assistive Touch can help you customize by using an on-screen button that replaces physical buttons, but also gestures. And it makes these gestures easier to use because they can be done with your fingers and sliding them around as opposed to pinching. Some people that might have some issues with tremors or arthritis or other things, or just hard navigating the screen, Assistive Touch can make it easier. It replaces side button presses. It can create custom shortcuts. It can simulate gestures. I'll show you on a map how it does that. And it gives you easier access to Control Center. And you can use it as a smart shortcut. I'll show you how to use it to just use it for taking a screenshot without having to press any side buttons on your phone. All right, so let's take a look. Let me change my screen here. I'm going to unlock my phone, and I'm going to go to Settings, and I'm going to go to Accessibility. Under Settings, you've got a lot of settings. Just find Accessibility. It's usually under General. And then under Accessibility is a setting called Touch. Now, Touch has a lot of characteristics. There's a lot of things you can do with Touch, but we're just going to look at Assistive Touch. Right now, it is off. I'm going to turn it on, and I'll do it again because I want you to look at my screen to see what happens on my screen. As soon as I turn it on, this button shows up. So look down there again. I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to turn it on. This is a button that is on my screen now that will fade when it's not active, but if I tap it, it will become active and it opens up some options. I can slide it around. So it typically will go to the side. If I put it in the middle of the screen, it wants to go to the side, but I can move it up or down by tapping on it with my finger and sliding it around. So if it's blocking something I want to look at, I can just tap and slide it and move it around wherever I want to on my screen. Okay, it's really, really convenient that way. If I tap it, it opens up a menu. Okay, there are some things that it will do right away. This is a shortcut menu, so I can go right to my home screen anytime I want to by tapping home. Normally, you might have to swipe up on your phone or swipe to left or right, but if I tap the home button here, it takes me to my home screen immediately. If I tap, I can go to Notification Center. I don't have any notifications here. No banners have shown up. But you can see this Assistive Touch button is here with me all the time. I can go to Control Center, and it opens up Control Center. So if I'm having trouble or I don't like to swipe from the upper right, or I'm always getting it wrong, or I don't seem to swipe correctly, I can tap to open up Control Center, and I can tap it again and go back home, and I'm back on my home screen again. I can also launch Siri. Hi, Siri, what's the temperature outside today? There we go. Those are some of the standard functions you get, and you can customize and create a custom button. You can go to Device, and when you go to Device, it gives you functions you can control on your phone without having to press a button. So normally you'd have to press a volume up or a volume down button on your phone. There's an action button on newer iPhone 15 and 16 and 17s, I think. I may be wrong on that. There's a rotate screen function. There's a lock screen where you don't want it to rotate. There's volume, and there's more that you can do with this as well. So these replace the ability to change your phone and what it does in terms of pressing buttons. Tapping more brings up a few other things here too. It brings you the ability to launch Apple Pay. You can restart your phone. You can use the shake gesture. Shaking, sometimes when you're editing something, it undoes things. There's an SOS button. There's an app switcher, and there's a screenshot. So those are, whenever you tap outside of that button, I'm tapping on my phone on the button. When you tap outside of that button, it takes you back to whatever screen you were looking at. Now, one thing that's kind of neat about this is that you can customize these. You can create something called custom, and they have a couple of standard things here: pinch and rotate, long press, double tap, hold and drag, back, and I created one called circle. Now, I was really confused by this at first. So I'm going to go to my home screen. I don't know if you're aware of it or not. Whenever you tap and hold on an application, I'm going to tap and hold on my camera icon here. If I tap and hold on that, it brings up a quick settings menu. Like, it's almost like a right click with the mouse. So if I tap my assistive touch button and I go to custom and I go to long press, there's a tiny little gray button here that shows up. You can see it right there. If I slide it over my camera and I let go, it actually has done the equivalent of a long press. So I can do this. A long press brings up options on almost any app that you look at. So if I want to just tap outside of that on the blue background area, it'll make it go away. So I'm going to do that one more time with reminders. If I tap on this button, I go to custom and I tap long press, I have this little gray dot. And if I just slide it over and drop it on reminders, I get the quick look menu on reminders, the context menu on that. So it's really a useful tool for navigating around your phone. Even if you can press the buttons, you may not have a good dexterous finger for tapping and holding on a button. So it's really possible to do it. You can also use it to double tap. Some apps require you to double tap on something to make something happen. Some apps we want you to pitch and rotate. So we're going to open up Maps here. And this is my neighborhood. Okay, we'll take a look at a city like Chicago. Okay, and I'll take Chicago here. We'll look it up. And here's my assistive touch button. It's still here. It hasn't disappeared. Okay, I'm going to move it over to the left here. I'm going to tap it. I'm going to tap on custom. And I'm going to tap on pinch and rotate. Now I have two dots with a line between them, and that gives me the ability, I can tap on one of these dots with my finger, and I can slide it up, back, and forth, and I can actually pinch and rotate anything on my screen without having to use two fingers to pinch. I could use two fingers to pinch, but sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do it and get it precise. But if you want to, you can use that custom feature, pinch and rotate, and just use these sliders to just slide them back and forth. Just by tapping your finger on one of these gray dots, moving it around, you can pinch and rotate anything you want to by doing that. And then if you don't want it there anymore, just tap, I'm going to tap on Lake Michigan, or I'm going to tap on the button and it'll disappear. Now, one of the things you can do with Assistive Touch also is you can customize it. I'm back on my Assistive Touch, and it says customize top level menu. Okay, I'm going to customize that. And I have 6 icons. This is my menu. When I tap on the Assistive Touch button, I get Home, Control Center, Device, Notification Center, Custom, and Siri. This is the top level menu. I have 6 icons. I can add or remove icons. I can reset it to what is standard out of the box from Apple. I'm going to tap the plus button. When I tap the plus button, I get a new icon that I can put in here by tapping plus. And if I tap that, it brings up a whole list of functions that I have the ability to use with that button. I can do so many things. One of the things that I find sometimes frustrating with iPhones and showing people how to use them is that to take a screenshot, you've got to press the power button and one of the volume buttons at the same time very quickly. And some people just aren't that quick. So I'm going to add screenshot here to my custom menu. So now I've got screenshot here where I've customized my top level menu. I'll go back here. I'm going to go back to my home screen. Here's my assistive touch button. Now when I tap it, I have a new icon here called screenshot. And if I just tap that, it takes a screenshot right away. I don't have to worry about getting my phone precisely lined up and getting my fingers on the home button and the power button or whatever I need to do to be able to take a screenshot. So it's possible to customize your top level menu on your accessibility button. You can continue to add more icons by tapping the plus again, and you can switch and you can look at all of these different options that are available for you to be able to work with and customize a button on that. There are many, many, many that you can explore and expand, but these are some of the most useful ones that I find. The action button is the button on iPhone, I believe 16s and 17s, maybe on 15s. Above the volume up and down button is an action button. And I'll show you what that does. I'll tap here and go to the home screen. If I tap the action button and press it, you can't see me on my phone, but on the left-hand side here is above the volume up down button is something called an action button. And if I tap that, I have it right now set to mute my phone. Okay. But you can change the function of that button by going into settings and we're going to go out of assistive touch here for a minute. And we're going to look for the action button. I'm just going to type the setting here. So I find it in search. And if you're ever looking for a setting, you can always search here. I'm going to type action button, and here's the action button. This has options. I can set that button to do to put my phone in silent mode, switch between silent and ring. I can give it the ability to turn on a focus to change distractions. I can give it the ability to open up the camera right away. I can use it for visual intelligence that will see things around, flashlight, voice memo, recognizing music, translate, magnifier, or using other controls that I want to. Now, obviously, for someone that can press that action button, that's really, really handy. But if you know someone, or if you have trouble tapping that action button, you can go to accessibility, you can go to touch, you can go to assistive touch, and you can customize the top level menu, and you can press plus, and you can add the action button control to that, so that if you're having trouble reaching that button, or you have a case that makes it difficult to work with, you can use your assistive touch button to replace the need to tap that physical button completely. So there's a tremendous amount of options that you can use on that. So now if I go to my assistive touch menu, I have an action button here, and if I tap that, it puts my phone, it activates the action button to do whatever I have it set up to do. To undo it, you would just untap on that, and you would change it, and you can customize this and remove an icon by changing this and just removing it by tapping the minus button. If you don't like any of the customizations you've done, you can always tap reset. That will reset it to the first 6 icons that are standard that you want to use. And you'll have the ability to use your assistive touch button however you need to do it. So again, these are lots of options that are available. They're designed to make it easier for people to navigate around their phone that might need assistance because of dexterity and touch issues. However, some of these functions are really, really quick and useful The only drawback is that you will have this assistive touch button wandering around on your screen all the time, but you can move it out of the way. And when you don't have it active, it eventually will go dim like it did just now so that it doesn't take up space. And it is possible to view through it. It's a little bit transparent so that it does show what's behind it more easily for you. If you ever want to switch it off, go to, again, your settings, go to accessibility, go to touch, and then turn assistive touch off. It's just an on-off switch if you want to. There are many, many other things you can customize with it. I just wanted to show you how to access it, how to get it on your screen if you want to use it, all the things it can do for you, and ways that you might consider using it that you might not have thought about using it before in order to make it easier for you to use your iPhone to be able to do things. This also works on iPads. The iPad assistive touch and accessibility feature work virtually the same as on iPhone, so that if you have an iPad, you'll be able to use it on an iPad as well.